All right, let's just jump right in. If you thought the world of crypto and social media couldn't possibly get any weirder, well, you were wrong. The Wild West of SocialFi is going through this just wonderfully chaotic evolution, and it is moving at an absolutely breakneck speed.
And this quote, yeah, that's not a punchline. This is the bizarre new reality that we are diving into today. It just perfectly captures the absurdity of where all this is headed. So the real question is, how on earth did we even get here?
You know, the idea of getting a margin call, that's a term you usually hear from stressed-out stock traders, right? Well, now it's being applied to your online friendships. And to really understand this chaos, we've got to hit rewind for a second.
See, this whole thing started out with a much simpler idea. Platforms like FriendTech, they came out with a model that was, pretty easy to wrap your head around at first. The whole premise was simple. You buy a digital key from a creator you like. Owning that key got you into their private group chats. That's it. You bought a key to get into the exclusive club.
So your key was really just a ticket, a digital membership card for an online fan club. But as you probably know, in Web3, nothing stays simple for very long.
And this is where everything changed. Those simple social platforms, they're rapidly ditching that old model and plugging in full-blown decentralized finance, or DeFi. They're turning those fan club tickets into something completely different.
This slide right here tells the whole story. What used to be just a token to get into a chat room has now become a financial asset, an asset you can actually use as collateral to take out loans. And you might be asking, why? Well, because in DeFi, every single asset is always looking for a purpose. It's looking for yield.
This analogy from our source material absolutely nails it. I mean, just picture it. You take your Taylor Swift fan club card, you walk into a bank, and you try to get a loan against it. That's literally what is happening right now in the digital world. It's wild.
And this brings us to this core concept, the financialization of social capital. It's this process of taking something as abstract and fuzzy as your online popularity and, well, bottling it, turning it into a hard, tradable asset you can borrow money against. So what happens when your friendships and your online status suddenly have a literal price tag stuck to them? Well, things get a whole lot weirder and the stakes get a whole lot higher. You know, this used to be one of those philosophical questions, right? Something to think about. The strength of your relationships, your influence. Well, not anymore.
Now, the value of your social capital is a very real, constantly changing, volatile number on a computer screen. And because it's so volatile, it comes with some very real financial risk.
And this just perfectly illustrates the new kind of risk we're talking about. If the value of your social key, which is basically your online influence, if that drops too much, guess what? The loan you took out against it can be liquidated. All because, your content got a little stale. It's somehow both terrifying and hilarious at the same time.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just some quirky, isolated thing happening in a corner of the internet. It actually points to a much bigger theme that's playing out across the entire Web3 space. And this really gets to the heart of it all. I mean, from art to items in a video game, and now, to our social relationships. The relentless march of Web3 is to financialize everything, to turn every piece of our digital lives into some complex, tradable product that can earn you a return.
So to wrap it up, we've officially left the simple era of digital fan clubs behind. Your online connections are now actual assets you can borrow against. The rules of the game have completely changed, which brings us to this bizarre new reality, the age of the collateralized friendship.
And that leaves us with one final, fascinating, and maybe, just maybe, a slightly unnerving question. In a world where anything can be turned into a financial instrument, if our friendships are today's new frontier, what part of our lives is going to be financialized tomorrow?